ABC. It's been a long while. This one's for Dave. Dave, of course, there have been records. Here's some of them. So, starting off, this came from one of a handful of digs I was very lucky to have with Andrew from Tales from the Crate. This was at Amoeba Hollywood. This is Father and Gay, self titled, on Island. Um, this is a record that was put on my radar years ago watching James Buttery's videos, and I've wanted a copy ever since, particularly a UK copy. I was thrilled to find this. This is a folk rock group fronted by Sandy Denny. Um, just beautiful British folk rock. Um, kind of at once traditional and breaking with tradition, which is exactly my favorite place for most things to be, particularly though jazz and folk. Um, we'll stay on that tip because I had some good luck in that area. Um, on another separate dig with Andrew, but also at Amoeba, I found Fairport Convention's second record in the US, confusingly titled self-titled, even though their first record in the UK was a self-titled record. But this has the title track, Father and Gay, that the name was taken from for the band. Really fantastic stuff. I also found, though I don't have it in hand, the Sandy Denny box set. Who knows where the time goes? This is out on Hannibal Records, which is the U.S. release of this. This is an excellent, excellent box set. I believe I saw Teddy at Eat Sleep Vinyl show this a while ago, and I was very happy to find it. I really made some strong selections for my Sandy Denny collection in a short time. I don't know what happened. Some UK folk collection must have ended up being dispersed around LA. So this I found at Atomic. This is Sandy, her solo album. I really like this album. I think it's a little bit more highly regarded than the other one I'm going to show. It's incredible, but edging out slightly is this one, which I found the same time I found Father and Gay. This is also on Island Records. Whoops. This is Sandy Denny, like an old-fashioned waltz. This is perfect for me. This is one of these records that sounds like it predicts certain types of modern songwriting, say indie singer-songwriter. Some of the combinations of jazz ideas with traditional folk, with modern, at the time, the 70s, songwriting. You just get a really beautiful record. Yeah, Sandy Denny's voice, of course, famously gorgeous, and but as an artist, she was formidable. If anybody had got that record store day release of hers, I'd be curious to know what you guys think of that. I'm kind of regretting missing that. And just one more on that, in that world, from the same collection, I assume. June Tabor and Martin Simpson, or June Tabor, either way, her voice is unbelievable. Like Sandy Denny, but maybe more in the vein of Anne Briggs or Shirley Collins, more of a traditionalist, and just such a beautiful accent and such a beautiful voice and such a formidable interpreter of song. I was at my local record store, and my buddy, who I always talk to about blues, asked me if for my email, and he sent me a live concert with those two, and it was incredible, and it just kind of kicked off an enthusiasm for that kind of music, which I was already into, but it, lit the fire, so I kind of actively started seeking that stuff, and I was very lucky to find those. Let's see. Speaking of lucky finds, this is from Freakbeat, also an Andrew dig. This is Peter Green's The End of the Game. Beautiful copy, reprise copy, American copy, but I guess entirely improvised. I don't know if this is fusion or something, but it's just improvisational rock, searing guitar, and some of it's meandering, but it's the good stuff is makes it all worth it, and it really has that hazy feeling of being in a recording studio when people are kind of jamming and maybe imbibing as well. It's a great heady record. Great guitar records that I found when I was with Andrew. This was a recommendation from Andrew. Buddy Guy's Stone Crazy on Alligator. This is awesome. I mean, Andrew said this. I think he said this is one of his favorites. But Buddy Guy's playing and singing and everything, just the song choice and the energy is like, this is a great electric blues record. Of course, fantastic guitar playing, but just a great record, a great listen. So 1981 on Alligator. What's up next? Well, I'll stay with that, I guess. I think I found this when I was out alone digging in Atomic. But this is Albert Collins. There's Got to Be a Change. This is out on Tumbleweed Records. I think Light in the Attic did a compilation. That's just a great gatefold. I think he's lying on his back to make it look like he's standing up over you. It's fantastic. But just a great cover, and which enticed me. I wasn't familiar with the album, but Tumbleweed put me over the edge. I knew they were a strange kind of stoner label. And this is a great record. This is a fantastic record. Again, fantastic electric blues, but just this one really grooves, and again, of course, searing, incredible lead guitar from Albert Collins. Really fun record, really great record. More blues found at Atomic. This is Freddie King on King. Gives you a bonanza of instrumentals. So it's just, of course, instrumental records, instrumental songs from Freddie King, blues, rockabilly, just music that moves and bops, and again, fantastic guitar playing, but in Freddie King's signature way. This is definitely more of an all occasions record. But yeah, very happy to find that. I don't have much Freddie King, and I think that might be my first one actually, and I don't see it very often, so I was very happy to find that. Also got this original Chess Masters, Muddy Waters, sings Bill Brunzi. And I read on the Hoffman forums once that Steve Hoffman worked on this series, but he only put his name on the back for the ones where the master tapes were a pain in the ass to put together. And his name is on the back for master tape restoration here. So I thought of that when I picked it up. And I grab these whenever I see them now, as long as they're in good condition, because these are excellent sounding records. The Best of Little Walter, another from the same series, and master tape restoration by Steve Hoffman. So it felt like a neat little pair. I found those the same day. I was happy to bring them home. So I'm ripping through this stuff. There's just a lot here. Alright, we'll move in this direction. So I've been eyeing some Steely Dan records, actually, at the store. Steely Dan has never stuck with me, but I like a lot of music that is kind of inspired and informed by them. So I keep thinking, maybe now will be the time. And I found this video about Bernard Purdy on YouTube. With Steely Dan talking about working with him, and it was so wonderful that I just realized it was time to kind of explore the catalog, and I picked up Asia, and it was cool. And then my wife started playing Dirty Work uh, from the first record. Sorry, I can't think of the name. And and I haven't found the copy of that record yet, but I loved that first album. And so I was happy to find the second album, Countdown to Ecstasy. This is great. I mean, it's you got to be in the mood. You know, it's a little heady, and it's a little heady. It's very heady. It's very smart. It's very intricate. I'm sure most of you know Steely Dan better than I do. But again, that tension between traditionalism and breaking free. I like the freedom, but I like seeing the path people had to take out of tradition. So, really enjoying that period for Steely Dan. Um, and then, just in terms of like what they are inspired by, I would assume. Um, I was happy to find Cabbage Alley by the Meters. Meters records are hard to come by. This was a nice price, probably because the cover's a bit beat, but it sounds and plays great. Um, yeah. So, following along, but with music that's kind of maybe inspired by that stuff. Um, just some recent pickups that I think I saw Bob Bradley showed this, so I hope it got a little play that it needed, it deserved. This is Blake Mills and Pino Palladino, Notes with Attachments. It's Blake Mills was supposed to produce this record for Pino, and it became such a collaborative songwriting process that it became the odd album for the two of them. And this other guy, Sam Gendel, who's playing the saxophone with them on a lot of these tracks, and it's just I don't know. It's a different direction, a different flavor in modern jazz than you would normally hear about on the VC. Blake Mills being a guitar player and producer, um, but it's great. It's vibey and it's rhythmic, and you know, at its best moments, it really grooves and moves. And of course, Pino's playing is incredible, and Blake Mills is pretty great, and Sam Gendel is a wild man. Plays sax through effects and stuff. Also picked up this live record of the three of them uh, at in Sheep's Clothing, which is kind of a hi-fi collective out here in LA that I really need to try to get to one of their events now. And in the same vein, I've been trying to support indie artists as much as I can during the pandemic because they've probably been hit the hardest of everybody in the music industry. And the guitar player Adam Levy, who is best known probably for playing with Norah Jones, and Rich Hinman, who's a pedal steel player. I follow these guys on Instagram, and it's one of those things where you just, you know, every time they post they're doing a show in Nashville or Brooklyn or whatever, you watch a little clip of it, and you're like, oh my god, what must that have been like? So they put out a record, a self-released record. You can buy it through Bandcamp. Rich Hinman versus Adam Levy. And they've got Jay Belleros on drums, who's a phenomenal drum player and a local at my local record store. And Jennifer Condo's playing the bass. And this is just a beautiful recording of an incredible performance. Guitar led, obviously. Jazz, but definitely folk and rock and roots music influenced in terms of taste and the kind of improvisation. Um, Absolute virtuosic musicians, really connecting. Just a great set, captured beautifully, pressed really nicely for a DIY record or a private release record. It's really great. I can't recommend this enough. I think it's like $36 or something if you buy it on Bandcamp. It's really worth every penny, and it supports some fantastic musicians. This is a treat. I really recommend this. Speaking of recommendations in jazz, I found this at Freak Beat on a dig with Andrew, John Coltrane, Rashid Ali, uh, Interstellar Space. Yeah, this was one that was on the wall, and Andrew said, "Dude, that's a great record. If you don't have it, I think that's one of the underrated Coltrane records." Um, and so I grabbed it. It was priced right according to Andrew, who I trust implicitly. I mean, honestly, my only regrets from times I go out with Andrew are when I don't pick up the record he recommends. He just has great taste. Yeah, so that was really exciting to pick up. Um, Coffee, soundtrack to Coffee. This was cool. This has been on the wall, on and off at my local. I guess I think a few different copies for quite a while, and I always want it. And it's a pricey. It's priced what it's worth basically, and it's a beautiful, clean promo copy, white label promo. Anyway, I brought some trade in. I got more than I expected for the trade, and there wasn't really anything else at the shop that I really desperately wanted. So I figured I would blow it all on this one record, and I was really happy that I did. I brought it home, put it on the turntable, and just had. I posted on my Instagram about it, but I just the music was amazing. Uh, the the record itself is just a great representation of what I think is cool about records. It was just a great experience. So, my daughter is screaming in the background, and I got through most of the really good ones. Let me finish on this one, and I'll leave some for later. So this record I just posted about this on my Instagram, which is Not Enough Records, and um, I found this while I was digging with Andrew, and I only remembered that I'd sampled the record after I bought the record. I just knew that it had been in my want list forever because I'd seen Zeke the Vinyl Geek show it in a video. And that somehow I was watching that video. I remember he said somebody else had shown it in a video and he picked one up. Um, and now I remember I sampled it at the time, which is why I put it on my want list. And it's one of those things I just watched the price fluctuate and change up and down. And I knew it could be had for cheap in great condition, and then occasionally somebody tried to sell it for a lot. I found this in perfect condition, just a beautiful promo copy, um, at Atomic Records here in Burbank, and um, Andrew was with me, and he was like, you know what, Vortex is a pretty cool label. I would grab it, and I did, and I love it. The title track Until is the top track on this first side, and it's so great that I haven't flipped the record yet. I've listened to that record 12 times at least since I picked it up. And I just listen to the A side. And if I feel like flipping it, I listen to the A side again. It's just beautiful. I'm sure the B side is excellent. And I may be exaggerating. I may have made it all the way through once. But I just keep playing that title track. It's like, I don't know. It's fun. Fun to be addicted to a song, So anyway, that record just kind of really reminded me of my version of the VC, which is, for me, was watching a lot of the old school guys, the guys who really started the VC, and them all kind of being gurus of obscure types of music, and the VC being kind of this education. And of course, the VC has grown and changed, which is wonderful. It's amazing. It's a community. It should grow and stay healthy and change. That's the only way for it to survive. But, it's different. It's different. Maybe I'll get into it another time. But it's a different place than it used to be. This record, because of the chain of people that recommended it and the type of record that it is, just has me feeling nostalgic for the old days of the VC. Anyway, that's why I'm making a video. Good to see you, VC. I'll talk to you soon. Goodbye.